start off with this film. I think you think people would like to know more about the way the rookie offensive lineman played?
Absolutely. Give me all the Cooper Beebe, Tyler Guyton you can.
Which one would you like to hear about first?
You know where I'm going to go.
You want to hear about Beebe?
Of course.
Kind of felt like the Beebe, when you start to talk about the first thing when you think with Beebe, it's about the snap. And he was able to handle that very, very well. You know, especially with guys in the gaps, guys maybe over his nose. I felt like that he was very comfortable doing those types of things. That you could tell there was a couple of different times where I was wondering the touchdown that they had, and I need to ask somebody this question because on tape it looked interesting. The blitz that they got, they had four to block. Really, they had four to block four, and they let the blitzer home. But great job by Dak, and I'm talking about the touchdown he threw to Cooks. Cooks one-on-one against Thornhill. Thornhill never even moved. You know, it was really a great route, the corner route that Cooks ran out of the slot, and it was a really nice throw by Dak, a great read, knowing where he's got the matchup. But I wonder if that was something where Beebe and those guys needed to make a call to get the pickup because they had enough guys to pick up the blitzer.
Yeah, it felt like if you're going to leave a free man, it should be the furthest man
from the ball,
quarterback,
from the
not
ball.
The guy.
Right. We saw that a couple different times with Guyton coming down, and then they let the furthest guy. That's rule of thumb. That man that's the furthest away is the quarterback's responsibility. You know, when you slide a protection, that guy's your guy quarterback, and so Dak. But I was just wondering a couple of different times there. They had some situations where I wonder if calls got conveyed in order to get guys in position to. But overall, I felt like that Beebe much better pass blocker than run blocker in this game. And there were some times, too, where the run blocking wasn't poor.
Yeah.
But where they were poor was him trying to get up to that second level. We talked about in the pre-game and the build-up to the game, Koromora, when you don't block him, he'll make every single tackle. And that's really what kind of happened in this game and there was a couple of times, though, where they blocked it pretty darn good. And they had hat on hat and everybody got to where they needed to be. And then all of a sudden, a Rico Dowdle, you got to make a cut. You got to cut behind. And the way the Cowboys tried to run the football in this game was with the traps and misdirections, the jet sweeps, the things like that. They had some success, but the biggest problem with Beebe, Guyton, guys like that were the lack of sustain with their blocks. And Beebe, when he gets up on that second level, he's got to locate and then he's got to be able to kind of get on that because they got behind him a couple of different times in the running game. But that was something that I felt like that the pass protection was spot on for him.
Good.
And the power spot on for him. I just wonder if there were a couple of times where they didn't get a call conveyed that Dak was able to kind of handle, knowing, this is about to happen to me. The touchdown for sure was one that I questioned on the tape. With Guyton, he went into survival mode yesterday as a pass blocker. And it wasn't just, I believe I looked at the numbers, I think that Garrett only played 45 snaps in this game. So it wasn't all Myles Garrett, but the pressure and the sack that he got on Guyton was just him being Myles Garrett. There was absolutely nothing that Guyton could have done to prevent that at all. That was just, we talked about Garrett's ability to get as much ground on that first step. He was on Guyton before he knew it. Guyton, it was everything's of his athletic ability to even hold on the play. And it wasn't called a hold, but he basically tackled Garrett to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But that was that's something he's going to have to learn.
Yeah, to be expected.
Smith got him, but he is going to when he looked far more comfortable as a run blocker than he did a pass protector. And that's something we keep saying this, but he didn't really see that. We didn't see that much. I know I didn't see that watching the Oklahoma tape, but man, he's a physical run blocker and he has that ability.
He's a finisher.
He is a finisher. And
Mickey says that all the time. We got to finish.
Got to be a finisher there. But I'll tell you what, though, that was, for the first time out, it wasn't pretty. He was in survival mode, He didn't get anybody hurt in the game, and that's a real positive in itself.
Definitely got fortunate on that.
Yeah.
On the fumble.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Good job by Tolbert picking it up out there in the flat. That's good awareness on his part. The ball, goes sideways. You got to jump on it out there. So, I think the running backs, can I talk about them a little bit?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. I mentioned in the cross today, if Zeke would have had the 10 carries for 40 yards in the second half, I would have felt better. But the way that he had one of his big carries was off a draw play.
On 3rd and 1,000,000 when they were willing to give you 9 yards.
Well, they had it was, like I was saying, that the way that they were blocking things up front, that it was going to be, there were the pulling, the down blocks, the things like that we've seen, that they were trying. But the second half, they had really nothing. They had nothing when it came to any type of movement. And that's the part that's disappointing to me, that maybe that what you saw in the first half, if that could have carried over and been a second half staple, that they could have gone to some type of plays that would have been a little bit more, hey, let's challenge the guys up front.
It almost felt like they were like, hey, we're happy with where we're at here.
I think Mike realized
through the motions a little bit.
I think Mike realized that his, he used to get on Kellen Moore about wanting to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and then taking chances and that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I just felt like, to me, second half would have been a good opportunity. They got into what they call that 21 personnel. They got in there with the 2 backs, 1 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
They went 22 personnel, some 2 backs, 2 tight ends. Your better blocker in these run situations was actually Hunter Lipke. When Ferguson went out, it was Span Ford, it was Scooney were involved. But Hunter Lipke was actually a better run blocker
as like a lead back, or as
they put him as a wing and put him over in a tight end situation.
Mm-hmm.
But he looked like he had a better feel for how to get into his block and then make something happen. They didn't have the success at some of the other spots, but I kind of was impressed with Hunter Lipke and the way he was able to handle himself. Say the backs again, they also had a situation too where the blitz pickup stuff I thought was really, really good in this game.
Zeke and Rico.
Yeah,
Zeke,
absolutely.
both of them. Yeah, and that's where I think that, to me, I don't have a problem with Elliott playing if that's the role he's going to play. Screen guy, catch the ball guy, be a blitz pickup guy. I think you could get a lot more out of him as that role, and then try and figure out some other things. But they're going to need to run the ball in the second half better than they have.
You just can't wear Zeke down. I liked week 1 fresh Zeke.
Yeah.
I hope they can keep him looking like that.
Yeah.
He looked maybe a little bit quicker and fresher than when he left.
Yeah.
The player I got most excited about was probably Overshown, because I think he has a chance to be that linebacker that we've struggled to have that brings athleticism there.
Yeah, they actually, all the linebackers, that whole entire room played really, really well. Even, with Leofau, he got a few snaps in there. They did a great job of rotating that group. And so you kind of saw the different combinations, even with Clark being in there, guys playing downhill, guys playing fast, guys taking on blocks. The line in front of him did a nice job.
It makes a difference when your line's not getting pushed
There
around.
was some really good coordination between the line and the linebackers, especially when it came to the blitzes and things like that. They were getting rushes home because of the coordination that they had between the two groups. The coverage aspect from the linebackers, I thought, was exceptionally well, because you worried about Njoku doing some things.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Lewis played a hell of a game for you as well,
dude.
too.
He was tackling machine.
All over the place.
Sure did.
Defense is exciting. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.